Hey guys, so this floor is still giving people some trouble, which makes sense because it's a really hard floor with a lot of RNG. But if you have Domain Megumi and you have Hanami, this gets a lot easier. She's much better than SR Kaito. The reason I used SR Kaito in my original floor is because a lot of players didn't have her back then, but now that a good amount of players do, I can showcase this team. If you don't have Domain Megumi, you can use SR Nanami as well. I'm just using Domain Megumi here because some people do have him, and I got this video request from someone that does have him. The person that requested this video also doesn't have Unity, Wish from the Past, or Mutual Trust, which are the three best supportive recs in the game. So I wanted to showcase a team that can clear this without using any of those recollections. You don't even need this, a slight gap. You can use whatever self-healing rec or anything that gives her curse energy is fine. It doesn't have to be this one specifically because she doesn't really take much damage. There isn't much RNG in this team or in this strategy. There's barely any, which is really nice. As long as your Yuta doesn't get targeted like 100% of the time, you'll be okay. There are some unlucky scenarios like them taking both pride stacks by having Rika counter twice before his build up, stuff like that, but it usually shouldn't be an issue, and it's not something that you're gonna have to reset a lot of times for, because this comp is very consistent. We sacrifice Toge on turn 1 after giving our team some ult gauge. Okay, now we hit again, skill 2, and then we start debuffing the enemies. Thanks to Hanami's buff, she'll get 20 curse energy again this next turn, so she'll have enough for another one. I don't even know when she got buffed. I feel like it was a shadow buff, because I don't remember reading any patch notes about it, but she did get her buffs that JP got. I just don't understand when that happened. As you can see, it does way less damage now. That's fine. Okay, now we continue buffing, we ult on Domain Megumi, and we just hit. Okay, buff one more time, start debuffing, use debuff, skill 1 again. As you can see, they do like no damage thanks to Hanami. Now, we're not using her domain because we don't want to cancel Degumi's domain and have him lose his debuffs on his skill 1, right? Of course, if you're using SR Nanami, you can just use her domain, and then it'll do pretty good damage and they'll do way less damage. But because we're using him, we're not going to use it. And now we finally ult on Yuta. Perfect. Now, this is the third turn of Megumi's domain, so now we don't really need to worry about canceling his domain or whatnot. So, let me just make sure. 96, 96, yep. So this is his final turn, so we can just put one more debuff and then we can cancel it with Hanami's ult. And then skill 3. As you can see, it does pretty good damage. Even at level 7, I think it is. Debuff, just hit normally. And then we can debuff here, but I'm just gonna hit with skill 1 for more damage. That's it. It's very simple, right? If you're using SR Nanami instead of Degumi, it's still possible, I'm fairly certain. It'll just take you a few more turns probably, because you'll have less damage, but the comp and the gameplay is pretty much the same. the MVP is just Hanami, right? She makes them do no damage, which is the most annoying part about this fight. I hope that was helpful. Bye guys.